8 years of love, one night of betrayal. Michael built a life with his hands, only to watch his wife, Emily, plot to tear it all down. Secrets whispered in the shadows. A plan to take everything. But what happens when the truth fights back? Welcome to Addy Story, where we share real-life stories that touch the heart and inspire the soul. Subscribe now to join our community, relax, and dive into the stories we have for you. Enjoy. As I gathered chairs in the garage, her brother's voice cut through. I still can't believe you married this loser. He's right. Leave him now, before children tie you down for life. She answered, resolve in her gaze. My lawyer says we can take half of his company, too. I returned with the chairs, my smile steady as I continued hosting. 3 days later, my WhatsApp lit up with 48 frantic messages begging for my attention. Emily was different in the days before the family dinner, a shadow beneath her smile, not the usual kind of off. When she's swamped with work or annoyed, I find my boots tossed in the hallway again. This was distinct. She glanced at her phone, eyes darting away when I neared. Tabs switched instantly, and calls were hushed behind closed doors. After 8 years, you sense the subtle shifts, like spotting a wall's misalignment at a glance. I never thought I'd be here, writing this. I keep my struggles private. Here I am at 3 a.m., whiskey in hand, reeling from my life unraveling in days. This must be shared, and you, dear strangers, are in for a wild ride. A look back. I'm Michael, 35 years old. I built my construction business from scratch after dropping out of community college. It started with just me and a beat-up truck. 5 crews now race against deadlines on projects across the county. Not huge, but it pays the bills, and then some. Emily, 33, has been my wife for 8 unforgettable years. I supported her through law school, covering tuition, rent, everything, while growing my business. Her family, wealthy and traditional, never accepted the blue-collar guy she chose. Her dad, Richard, rules the finance world, while her mom, Susan, dominates real estate. Then there's David, her brother, who thinks his business degree makes him king of capitalism. Listen up. I always felt their judgment. She could do better, they murmured. Snide comments about my small operation and endless questions about returning to school never stopped. Yet, I thought Emily was my defender. Last Saturday, we hosted the annual spring dinner, a tradition Emily insisted on to flaunt our home to her family. I spent the morning sprucing up the yard, pressure washing the deck, and diving into the cooking. She needed everything perfect for her family. I was up at 6, prepping the smoker for the brisket I'd dry-aged all week. Emily's tension crackled, her sharp words slicing through the evening's calm. I chalked it up to family dinner stress. They arrived by 4. Her parents, brother David, and his wife, younger sister Lily, still adrift in graduate school. Emily's mom critiqued the living room furniture, while her dad's probing questions about my business oozed expectation of failure. By 6, hunger hit hard. I set the dining table with our treasured wedding plates, rarely used, then realized we needed 2 more chairs from the garage. Stepping through the side door, whispers drifted from around the corner, drawing me in. David and Emily stood by the hydrangeas, sharing a cigarette. Odd, since she quit 3 years ago. My heart pounded as I heard my name in the quiet. I froze, listening. David couldn't fathom why she married me, echoing their dad's words in his head. She had to leave before kids chained her forever. Emily's next words hit like a wrecking ball. She was on it, and her lawyer said they could claim half my business. I stood rooted, heart racing, as their laughter mocked my obliviousness to the storm brewing. They kept talking, insisting Nathan was her perfect match, claiming I'd wasted her prime years while I was buried in construction. Ever had a moment that flips everything? 8 years of marriage, sleepless nights helping her study, vacations skipped for law textbooks, extra jobs to pay her loans. It all shifted under the harsh light of my new reality. Yet I stayed silent, bottling the tempest inside. A chill seized me. I grabbed 2 folding chairs from the garage, took 3 deep breaths, and forced the fakest smile I could muster. As I stepped inside, my reflection in the hallway mirror jolted me. I looked utterly normal. Are you there? Desolation reigns. That dinner blurred into a haunting haze. I poured wine, sliced the brisket, laughed at her dad's terrible jokes, and watched my wife, this stranger across the table, acting like all was well. I searched her face, desperate to find the woman I loved. Had she always looked at me with that veiled contempt? Or was I only now seeing it? Her mom praised the meal, asking for my recipe, and my heart raced. 8 years of family dinners, and now she thinks I have something to say? I explained the dry aging process with cold precision, but my mind churned. Lily shot me an odd look, as if sensing a hidden truth. In a sea of chaos, she's the only decent one in that family. Did she know? After dessert, David raised his glass, toasting to family and the uncertain future, his eyes on Emily, a smug smirk on his lips. I raised mine, the wine swirling, imagining the thrill of smashing that glass against his face. As they left at 11, Emily started cleaning, humming softly. Humming, as if she hadn't just shattered our world. I promised to handle the dishes, urging her to rest. Her lips grazed my cheek, her words stabbing. You're such a good husband. The audacity nearly made me sick. Once she slept, I couldn't resist checking her laptop. Access denied. Something new just for her. But I knew she used the same pattern for most accounts. I got in on the 3rd try. 3 months ago, emails to her lawyer started. She aimed to lock in her partnership first, using my income to boost her status, then ditch me once she had it all. Spreadsheets detailed my business assets, our accounts, even a chilling divorce timeline. It was undeniable. A transfer record showed her siphoning small sums to another account for months, just under the radar. Brilliant. Sharp as a blade. I checked our joint savings. $20,000 gone. The savings I'd earmarked for business expansion. What's next? Then I found the message saved under N. Nathan was everything I didn't know I needed. He was driving my replacement. 6 months vanished in a flash. Half a year. Sleep escaped me that night, and the next. I called in sick Monday, my first in 3 years, and met a divorce attorney while Emily was at work. A guy named Tom, recommended by a friend, laid it all bare with my screenshots. Tom gave it to me straight. In our state, she could claim half my business's value, which grew during our marriage, despite her doing nothing for it. I built it from nothing, all while carrying her through school. Hearing the potential settlement amount nearly floored me. All I'd built, all I'd sacrificed, handed to the woman plotting to blindside me. I asked Tom, so what now? Do I just roll over? He talked about amicable resolutions and minimizing damage, but I was already gone. Deep in my mind, something fundamental had shifted. That night, Emily asked if I felt better, her voice laced with concern. Brought me soup, showed deep worry. I played along, said it was just exhaustion, feeling something creeping in. She pushed me to see a doctor. Her performance was stunning. I nodded, thanked her, and whispered, I loved her. She said it back instantly, those 3 empty words slipping out while planning my financial ruin. She scrolled Instagram on the couch, pausing to like a photo of us from last Christmas posted by her sister. The caption read, Couple Goals. I nearly laughed. It was like a stranger had hijacked my wife's body. Every move, every word calculated. Was she always like this? Was I blind for 8 years? Or did she change? Does it matter? I've never been one for revenge. When contractors screw me, I cut ties and move on. When clients delay payment, I face it head on. This was different. This was personal. This was my life. As I lay awake the second night, watching her sleeps peacefully, likely dreaming of spending my money with Nathan, something hardened in me, a clarity igniting. Emily and her family never saw my strength. They saw rough hands and no degree, and wrote me off. They didn't get that building from nothing takes cunning, planning, and relentless patience. The next morning, I made calls. First, my bank. Then my business partner. Finally, key clients. By noon, a plan sparked. By dinner, my mind was set. Does Emily want to fight? Fine. She's got a butter knife and a chainsaw duel. This isn't just about money. It's time to show her and her family who they've crossed. The outsider they've mocked for 8 years is about to school them. 3 days after that dinner, I'm finalizing my demolition plan. Like any construction, the foundation comes first. Tomorrow, everything changes. Emily thinks she's in control, but a storm's brewing just out of sight. Her family doesn't see it either. Or Nathan, whoever he is. For 8 years, I backed her dreams. Now I'll watch her world crumble. New developments. Thanks for the overwhelming support on my last post. I was floored by the response. No, I'm still not calm or clear-headed. Anger lingers. Pushing forward. Now, with sharper focus. When you build with your hands, you learn rushing causes future headaches. Revenge works the same. A strong foundation is key. The morning after my post, Emily left for work. Same as always. She kissed me goodbye, reminded me to call the plumber about the leaky faucet in the guest bathroom, and asked if I could pick up her dry cleaning. The normalcy was eerie, like watching a fragile soul walk their own tightrope, oblivious to the drop below. Once her car was gone, I moved. First, I had to protect my business. I called my accountant for an urgent meeting at a coffee shop nearby. I couldn't risk doing this over the phone or at work where ears might catch it. Listen up. Building a business while supporting someone through school takes sacrifices. Perfect records are a myth. Exhausted from 14-hour days, you gloss over paperwork, cutting corners to survive. Emily felt it in her bones. Even in our roughest patches, they stepped in, helping with early tax filings when we couldn't afford a real accountant. The coffee shop meeting changed everything. George, my accountant, looked like he hadn't slept in days. Emily had called, asking about business valuation methods and ownership documents, disguised as help for an upcoming investor meeting. George, confused, shared minimal details, but felt uneasy enough to flag it. When I told him the truth, his face went white, shock carved into every line. "Michael, you need to see this." He pulled out his tablet, urgency in his eyes. He showed documents detailing my business dealings over the past 3 years. These highlighted ones, they don't add up. Emily was doing more than planning a divorce. She wove a web to frame me for mismanaging funds, dates that don't match, odd transfers at weird hours, invoices that contradict each other, all legal. She knew better, but enough to cause havoc in a divorce courtroom. It's a pricey gamble, hiring a forensic accountant who'll find nothing but drag this out for months. George and I spent 3 hours documenting every detail, creating ironclad trails of legitimacy for every transaction. We rushed payments to suppliers, paid off equipment loans early, and documented Emily's total absence from business operations. A text from Lily, Emily's sister, broke our focus. It was unusual. We've shared smiles, but texts are rare. She asked if we could grab coffee soon. Said she needed to talk about something important. I agreed, to Saturday morning, curiosity eating at me. Final stop, the bank. David's words from that dinner haunted me. Her parents will be there when she needs them most. A gut feeling hit. Instincts in construction can save you. I met our financial advisor at the bank. It was exactly as I feared. 2 weeks ago, Emily applied for a home equity line of credit on our house. The house is mostly mine, bought with my pre-marriage savings and down payment. I renovated it, sinking nearly $100,000 into it, and it's transformed. I was still a required signatory, but the paperwork was moving through. 1 more week, and she'd have had $200,000 in cash, a debt I'd help repay. The advisor squirmed as I said I hadn't approved it. With my ID and marriage certificate, I canceled the application. Then I moved half our joint savings to my personal account, the exact amount I'd contributed. Petty? Maybe, but it's a fraction of what she planned to take. Back home, I crossed a line I wish I hadn't. Desperation pushes you. I place small recording devices in our living room and bedroom. It's legal here, since I co-own the home, but it feels like an ethical violation. I set a camera in our home office, aimed at her desk. As I walked the dog through the neighborhood, I faked normalcy, hiding the storm inside, waved to neighbors, tossed a ball for the Thompson's kid. As I scooped dog poop with a flimsy bag, my mind raced with plans to dismantle my marriage. Just another Tuesday, but the weight lingers. At dinner, Emily's eyes flicked to her phone, her mind elsewhere. Her responses were vague, distant. Her phone buzzed again, and I saw the name flash. Nathan. Who's Nathan? I asked, voice calm, reaching for more pasta. The fork hovered near her lips, frozen. A new client at the firm. Urgent case. She set her phone face down, a silent choice in the air. That pause said everything. 8 years together. You see them. Must be serious if he's texting during dinner, I said, still the steady husband. Her smile was brittle, barely holding. It's a common issue. Some people ignore boundaries. The irony nearly choked me, like a bite of garlic bread gone wrong. After dinner, she said work called and slipped into the home office. I scrubbed the kitchen, clanging dishes to cover my steps, then crept to the hallway by the office door, slightly ajar, inviting me closer. Her voice wrapped around me, soft and intimate. Not her client voice, not her family voice. Her voice, a sultry whisper that lights up the night. Don't just text whenever you feel like it. He has no clue. Hang on. I miss you so much. Every word drove deeper, sealing the death of my feelings for her. The rage I'd buried surged, ready to explode. I wanted to burst through that door and confront her. End this charade for good. But that would have ruined everything. I turned and left, back to the heart of the home. Water flowed, a moment of quiet anticipation. Washed dishes, but my mind raced with plans. Building is everything. Timing is critical. Pour concrete too soon after rain, and it all slides away. Rush the framing. The whole foundation collapses. This revenge needed patience to hit its peak. Wednesday morning, the divorce papers I'd printed sat exposed on my nightstand, a silent marker of my unraveling life. Empty and aching, a void screaming for meaning. Just standard forms from the county site. After my shower, I noticed them slightly shifted. Her eyes had scanned them, yet silence hung heavy between us. Neither spoke. In silence, I set the stage for what was coming. I contacted clients who owed me favors, not for money, for information. Nathan was more than he seemed. He was David's best friend, tied by secrets and shared history. They went to college together. He shared her family's wealth, the perfect match her parents always wanted for her. And this is where it shifts. Nathan was at countless family events I missed, buried in work, birthday parties, a ski trip. I missed the cruise, stuck on a massive project, the project that defined my business. A friend revealed Nathan and Emily had a brief fling in college before I met her. It was all falling into place. This was everything. The game stretched on. Amid it all, I tracked every cent spent on Emily's education. Education's cost, pages of records, whispers of sacrifices, rent, the graduation gift I gave her, a laptop. The bar exam prep course looms ahead. The suits for interviews, endless Ubers home from late-night study sessions, driven by my fear of her on public transit after dark. Total, $143,622, excluding the potential earnings I missed by not investing that money in my business. That night, Emily took the bold step to reignite their passion. The timing was almost comical. Was this part of her plan too? Keep me happy while she plotted my downfall. I went along, heart pounding, played my part. She faked passion, but I felt only a cold void. In the quiet, as she slept, I stared at the ceiling fan, counting its spins, a futile grasp for peace. One thought looped endlessly. How long had our love been a lie? Was it always transactional for her? Was I just a means to an end? Thursday morning, I met Lily for coffee. I sat alone, scrolling Reddit, the minutes dragging as I waited. Support from you internet strangers kept pouring in. Extreme measures I never considered were suggested. Others shared stories that made mine seem small. Somehow, the solidarity cut through the darkness. Lily walked in, radiating anxiety. She's always been the odd one out in that family, truly real, unbothered by appearances. She ordered a complicated coffee and picked at a muffin, her words light but the tension thick. Finally, she took a deep breath. Her next words sealed it. She'd known about Emily and Nathan for months, saw them together at the lake house. A family weekend turned gut punch. I missed it, dealing with a water damage crisis at work. She confronted Emily, who swore it was a one-time mistake. But it wasn't. Emily had spilled everything to Lily, drunk after a family dinner I skipped. Don't leave him, not until the partnership's locked in. Then take half his assets to Nathan as her safety net. Lily shared this, her resolve breaking under the weight. She said she always liked me, thought I was good for her sister, never understood why her family couldn't see me for me. I thanked her for her honesty, kept my knowledge hidden, asked her to keep our talk secret. She nodded, a burden lifting. She hugged me tightly as she left, whispering regret. In days, it was the first real human connection. Thursday night, I set the next phase in motion, created a crisis for Emily, called for an urgent family meeting the next night, client about to walk, threatening financial ruin, begged for her support and her family's advice. She hesitated, heart racing, said she had plans. I pushed harder, let my voice crack slightly, admitted I was scared of losing all we'd built together, played on her guilt. She caved, agreed to host an emergency family dinner Friday night, promised to call her parents and David. Perfect. Friday morning, I finalized preparations with urgency, set the dining room, hiding printouts in a folder by my seat, evidence stacked on the tablet, a tower of truth ready to topple. Every detail captured, screenshots, recordings, financial records, everything. Picked up her favorite dessert from that bakery she loves, tied up loose ends at work, had a raw talk with my business partner. Shocked, but fiercely supportive. We'd been tight since high school. He knew the true cost of Emily's education, felt in every way. As I walked in, Emily was already setting out our best plates. The symmetry hit hard. Another family dinner, thick with unspoken tension. Familiar territory, a new drama about to erupt. She was on edge, checking her phone repeatedly. Nodded absently when I asked if everyone was confirmed for dinner. Said her parents were bringing wine. David and his wife would come, hearts racing. I suggested inviting Lily too. Emily's eyes widened, but she agreed, texting her sister while I watched, transfixed. Everyone would be there. Perfect. As I headed upstairs to shower and change, Emily's voice followed, pressing for details on the client issue, eager to prepare. I promised I'd explain everything at dinner, just once, with everyone present. Under the pounding shower, I rehearsed my words, heart pounding, how I'd present the evidence, the order of revelations for maximum impact. It felt surreal, like prepping for the most chaotic client meeting ever. I slipped into the outfit Emily said made me look my best. Her words heavy on me. Deep navy fabric, blue button-up, leather shoes, not work boots. The outfit for my final act as her loyal husband. Downstairs, her whispers on the phone cut through the quiet. The living room recorder would capture that call, if I needed it. But I already knew the voice on the other end. She spoke, but I'd already felt it all. Let her have this fleeting sense of control. She's soothing Nathan, assuring him everything's on track. Let her cling to the illusion for these final moments that she's the sharpest in the room. The doorbell broke the silence. Emily jumped, ending her call. Her parents arrived first. Her father came, clutching the promised pricey wine. His handshake was the usual condescending grip. He asked about the business emergency, a hint of glee in his tone. Then David and his wife arrived. Lily followed, eyes down, heavy with unspoken words. Everyone was here, every player in place. In the dining room's soft light, Emily's hand gripped my arm, her eyes searching mine. "Are you okay?" she whispered, concern etched on her face. Her voice held a raw sincerity that briefly shook my resolve. I wondered if I'd spun a wild conspiracy from mere coincidences. Then her phone buzzed against her thigh. Nathan's name flashed, then vanished. All doubt evaporated. I settled into the chair at the table's head, the weight of expectation thick. The evidence folder sat by my plate. Emily was beside me, her father on the other side. The symmetry was perfect, echoing the dinner where I learned her betrayal. Now, the secrets were mine. As Emily's mother asked about the wine, I felt Lily's gaze, intense and unsettling, a mix of curiosity and dread. She sensed the storm coming, but its shape eluded her. I stood, wine glass in hand, and the room fell silent, all eyes on me, awaiting the crisis reveal. I smiled at each, lingering on Emily, my heart pounding. Before addressing the reason for this gathering, I raised my glass and toasted. To family, to loyalty, and to the stark clarity of truth. What they felt was just the beginning. Uncertainty loomed, a storm on the horizon, and Emily stood at the edge, unaware of the chaos about to break. Final word. My eyes are locked on the screen, the message count climbing with every pulse. 48 texts from Emily in under 3 days, each steeped in urgency and despair. I owe you the truth about that dinner. It was unreal. I raised my glass, toasting to family, loyalty, and the stark clarity of truth. Every face showed pure confusion. I sat, the rich taste of Richard's expensive wine flooding my senses. Amid the business crisis, Emily's grip on my hand was a lifeline, her encouragement tangible. I couldn't help but admire her steadfast support. I reached for my tablet, heart pounding. I've uncovered serious issues threatening everything I've built. Issues simmering right under my nose. Richard leaned in, a smirk barely contained. Cash flow troubles? Your business model always seems shaky. Connecting my tablet to the TV isn't the issue. The real problem is my marriage. Silence swallowed the room. Emily's hand froze against mine. Michael, she whispered, voice shaking. What's going on? Listen up. In demolition, you don't start with the roof. You hit the core, breaking stability. I played the recording of Emily and David from that dinner. Their voices filled the air, hauntingly clear. David said she needed to divorce me before kids, or be stuck forever. Emily replied she was on it, and her lawyer said they could take half my business. I watched every face at the table. David's color drained. Emily's mother stifled a gasp. Richard's jaw clenched. Lily closed her eyes, bracing for the impact she'd sensed. Emily sat frozen, trapped in her own silence. Her carefully laid plan shattered. I showed the screenshots of her messages with Nathan. Polished, but damning. 6 months, I said softly. For 6 months, you've been with him while I poured my soul into 60-hour weeks. I turned to her parents. Did you know she was cheating? Or was she really leaving me? Richard's voice cut through. But I wasn't done. I switched to my spreadsheet. Every sacrifice for Emily's education. $143,622. I poured everything into our future, I said. From nothing, I built my business. On to the next. Proof of her secret bank account and the canceled home equity application. And this was her repayment. The silence roared. Then, in a flash, 3 things happened. Richard stood, his chair crashing down. This is outrageous. Emily, we're leaving. Emily grabbed my arm. Michael, let me explain. David, shaking, deleted messages under the table. I pointed at him. The messages you're deleting? I have them. Every moment you stood by her, weaving dreams together. David froze, his eyes on his wife, her face dawning with dread. Emily shifted tactics. It wasn't like that, she whispered, tears welling, lost and hurting inside. We've been drifting apart for so long. Drifting apart? I echoed. While I funded your education, while I built our future. I didn't mean to break, but a line was crossed. 8 years, I whispered, voice shaking. For 8 years, I believed in us. I was just a stepping stone. Richard stormed in, eyes blazing. Your problems are yours to fix. Think you can intimidate my daughter with this stunt? Our resources dwarf your imagination. I laughed, a sound sharp with unexpected joy. Resources? You mean the $20,000 she siphoned from our joint account? Or the HELOC she tried to pull on my house? As Richard ranted about their sacrifices, I saw Emily's fingers typing under the table. Then I dropped the final bomb. Did Emily mention Nathan's married too? I said casually. Silence blanketed the room. Richard's words faltered. Found that out yesterday. Sarah's his wife. She heard me out as I shared the messages between her husband and my wife. Emily's face went ashen. You... What? We had coffee yesterday. Felt she deserved to know. That's when Richard lost it. Grabbed the edge of my dining table, the one I built with my hands. Then it flipped. Wine spilled. Glass shattered. Chaos erupted. Emily's scream cut through. Her mother gasped. David flinched, heart racing. I sat, an odd calm settling over me. 8 years of illusion shattered. Only Lily stepped up to help clean. Our eyes met through the chaos, and she gave a subtle nod of respect, understanding. I couldn't tell. Richard's finger shook as he pointed at me. You think you've won? You're nothing. You build with your hands, where brains fell short. My daughter messed up choosing you, but we'll fix it. I stood, heart pounding. I may work with my hands, Richard, but I built something real. What have you built besides a family of liars? He lunged at me, tried to swing. David's hand grazed him, just shy of disaster. Held him back as he spewed threats about lawyers. Michael, please, Emily begged, voice trembling. We need to talk privately. This isn't what I wanted. What you wanted was to ditch me. Take half my work while someone else takes my place. I couldn't believe it. Silence speaks volumes. I stepped forward. You need to leave. Now David dragged his father out. Lily was the last to go. Paused at the door. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I always thought you deserved better. It was just Emily and me in the wreckage of our dining room. Where are you going? She asked, her voice barely audible. I've got a hotel room, I said. Tomorrow, while you're at work, I'll get my things. This was all you. Her voice broke. I was built for greatness, I replied. Grabbed my packed overnight bag. As I walked out, her voice called my name. This will haunt you. My father meant it about the lawyers. I didn't answer. Some foundations can't be fixed. That night at the hotel, I slept soundly for the first time in ages. The next day, I returned while Emily was at work. Essentials only. Clothes, tools, family photos, my dog's stuff. Left my key on the counter. I'd rented a small apartment near my workshop. Unpacked, making space for what matters. I told my team I'd work from home, dealing with personal challenges. I went dark on social media for 2 days, ignored pleas for contact, focused on building my new home. The dog settled in fast. Animals feel the tension in a house. On the third morning, I turned my phone back on. It buzzed instantly. 48 WhatsApp messages from Emily, a storm of anger and desperation. Started with rage, loud and raw. How could you humiliate me like this? You've ruined everything. Then it shifted. Michael, please call me. We need to talk. I know I screwed up, but we can fix this. By the 30th message, she was begging. I'll get help. I'll cut off my family. Just talk to me, please. Message 46 hit with clarity. I'm so sorry. The last two, sent at 3:14 a.m., broke the night's silence. I told Nathan everything. About the money. About the divorce plans. He says we're meant to be. And then he ended it. He's trying to save his marriage with Sarah. I'm alone now. I read every word in silence. Exhaustion consumed me. Only emptiness. Not redemption. Only void. It's like pouring your heart into a project. only for the client to ignore your work. Another message popped up as I scrolled. Michael, I know you've read these. Name your price. Money? The house? I'll sign anything. She still didn't get it. This was never just about money. Betrayal cut deeper. Time lost forever. Future stolen, I replied at last. The divorce papers are on your desk. I just want this over, quickly. She responded instantly. Can we talk? Can you help me? Really just talk? My phone rang, cutting through before I could think. Tom, my lawyer. Sarah, Nathan's wife, had reached out to him. After I shared the evidence, she uncovered Nathan's pattern with other women. She wanted to trade info for our divorce. As Tom talked, my eyes scanned my bare apartment. A mattress on the floor. Open boxes. Memories spilling out. The dog stares at me, eyes full of quiet need. At 35, this wasn't the life I planned. Starting over. Again. Sometimes, you have to tear it all down to fix a broken foundation. I met Sarah for coffee. Not romantically, but shared betrayal forges a bond. I sent Emily one final message after the call. No more contact. It's over. All future communication goes through our lawyers. And with that, I cut the tie. That afternoon, I hiked with the dog. The wild pulse of nature around us. My phone buzzed. Lily's name lit up. Heard you left. Emily's with our parents now. Dad's livid. But Mom's finally questioning what really happened. His perfect daughter image is cracking, I replied. Thanks for the update. Hope you're holding up. Her response cut through. I'm here. More than okay. Really. I finally told them I'm quitting the program they chose for me to pursue what I love. Your courage must have rubbed off. As the sun sank, I watched my dog explore, curiosity lighting the dusk. Happy tale, free of the world's weight. 8 years gone. Endless grind. A future dreamed, then broken. But it's freedom. Reality. A chance to rebuild. Something real. The phone buzzed, pulling me back. Sarah's message about our coffee meetup came through, sparking anticipation. Here's a link to a support group for those facing divorce with financial betrayal. Turns out, this isn't rare. I pocketed my phone and called the dog. Back to reality. Dinner awaits, and the boxes linger. Small steps. Every moment matters. Every great project starts with a solid foundation. This time, I'll make it unbreakable. Thanks for watching this story on Addy Story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new tale. Stay tuned for more. And until next time, take care and keep living your own amazing stories.